Welcome back to Chicago Independent Television. Environmentalists have worked for years to get Chicago's coal-burning plants to clean up their pollution. In this next segment, we'll join a vigil on Chicago's South Side.
As day turned to dusk on a cold Sunday evening, activists gathered to hold a candlelight vigil outside the Fisk power plant in Chicago's Pilsen neighborhood. The pollutants emitted by the plant affect the health of the residents in nearby predominantly Hispanic neighborhoods, so much so that the Harvard School of Public Health released a study of the asthma and mortality rates of the pollution emitted by the power plants. In 2003, 90% of area residents voted in an advisory referendum in favor of the Chicago Clean Power Ordinance, but Chicago Mayor Daley refuses to support the measure.
Well, what's going on here is a vigil, candlelight vigil to commemorate the people who die every year because of the emissions from this plant and from the Crawford generating station that belonged to Midwest Generation.
What kind of emissions?
These plants, they burn coal to produce electricity. They were grandfathered in under the Clean Air Act, so therefore they do not need to meet even the more modern requirements for new power plants. So therefore they're putting out a lot of sulfur dioxide, a lot of carbon particulate matter, a lot of nitrous oxide, oxides of nitrogen, and all of this combined has serious health effects on people, whether or not you can actually see it or smell it. In fact, statistical and medical analysis of health records have shown that on the average, based at least on the levels of emissions that these plants had in 2001, roughly 40 people a year, extra deaths are occurring because of what's coming out of the tall smokestack way up here and the two smokestacks over on Pulaski at the Crawford Avenue station. I'm a member of PERO, which is Pilsen Environmental Rights and Reform Organization. We have been working for years to try to find a way to force these plants to clean up their emissions. If they refuse to clean up their emissions, they should stop running these plants. Basically, this has been our position all along. So far, we have not been successful in this, but the vigil is an attempt to try to produce a little more public awareness of the health issues involved with these two plants.
There's something else to say. The interview that you just saw was actually the second take at an interview. The first take was interrupted by security at the power plant.
Can you give us 5 minutes to record an interview away from the... We need the silence.
No, this is private property.
So where...
Just like he's up against here, that should say probably Midwest Generation. Yeah, that ain't part of that area out there. You know what I mean? If you over there...
Yes, that's right. They didn't want me to record this sign. This is the power plant which, along with the Crawford power plant, emits hundreds of pounds of mercury every year, hundreds of tons of soot every year, and tens of thousands of tons of sulfur dioxide every year. So what did their security do? They stopped me from recording a sign that I already got footage of. No wonder the plant was getting protested. In fact, that same Fisk power plant was the locale of a mass rally, protest, and blockade over the plant's contributions to global warming and the climate crisis on the International Day of Climate Action, just 2 weeks after the vigil. The struggle continues, as it always does.
I'm Alejandro Molina, and you're watching Chicago Independent Television.
I see the soul of a nation. Must be true, 'cause I've seen it on TV.
Does Comcast hate God? Let's find out.
Well, Comcast blocked internet traffic, which allowed internet users to upload and download online copies of the Bible. So yes.
There you have it. Clear evidence that Comcast hates God. Help protect God. Visit these websites to learn more and get involved. Comcast, it's Blocktastic.